Hello and welcome to the All Ears English podcast. My name is Lindsay and I'm excited to bring you this episode today with my co-host Michelle Kaplan. So today we're talking about the American diet. We had a listener who asked us what the term cheat days means. So we'll show you what it means in English, plus we'll give you 5 new vocabulary terms that you can use to have more interesting conversations in English about diet and nutrition. So guys, if you love getting this podcast here on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe to this channel. I hope you enjoy this episode and thanks for listening.
This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 1342, Why Cheat Days Matter and the American Diet.
Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 130 million times. We believe in connection, not perfection, with your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Los Angeles and New York City, USA. And to take your learning deeper with real-time transcripts and vocabulary practice, download our app on your iOS device. Go to allearsenglish.com/bonuses. Today we get a question from a listener. What is a cheat day? Find out what it means and how it applies to our diets. Plus, get an overview of keywords that you need when you talk about diet and nutrition in American English. This episode was recorded a few weeks in advance.
Our understanding of the COVID-19 situation has changed since then.
We hope you are healthy and safe.
And we hope that All Ears English can be a bright spot in your day during this moment of uncertainty.
Hey Michelle, how you doing? How you feeling today? What'd you have for breakfast?
Ooh, today I had a half an English muffin with cottage cheese and strawberries.
Oh, cottage. Interesting. Cottage cheese on top of the English muffin, or?
Yeah, why not?
Interesting. Okay, fair enough.
I was going to have cream cheese, but then I was feeling crazy.
Oh man, I haven't had cottage cheese in ages, but they do say it's really healthy.
So good. I used to not like it. I mean, it's certainly a weird texture, it's delicious.
Yeah.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had steel cut oats, but the instant kind, with like cherries and blackberries on top, and coffee, of course.
Oh yeah, I had coffee as well. I mean, Lindsay, are you a person who's ever gone on a diet? I mean, you're petite, you're tiny, so I can't imagine that you're a dieter. You seem just like healthy lifestyle naturally, and so I don't think you would need. I don't think that you would be a dieter.
Yeah, I've never gone on any kind of diet like Weight Watchers or keto diet, but I'm really interested in nutrition. Like I feel like in another life, I would have liked to be a nutritionist. I think that would have been cool to write diet plans for people. That would have been cool. I find it fascinating.
I do too. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so I'll always read about diet. Like anytime there's an article in the Times or something, I'll read that article and like try to implement things. So I'm really interested in creating a really clean, healthy, like antioxidant packed diet, but I've never, although last week I did feel like there was too much meat creeping into my diet. So I said I was going to go off meat for a week. And so I'll do things like that. You know what I mean? But it's not extreme. It's not like Weight Watchers or anything like that.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I've been on Weight Watchers, mostly. Really? Yeah, I have done it like after the baby, because I was having like a lot of trouble. Like I wanted to get back to my past weight, and I was having trouble with I was doing it all just naturally and not thinking about it. But it was that last 5 to 7 pounds and it was just not going away. And so I did need a little bit of structure. I just felt I didn't have a lot that I was trying to get off, but I needed that structure because I didn't have the self-discipline. So that's why I did it. Yeah. I got rid of it and then some. I don't even know how that happened, but now it's starting to go back. So,
what were the foods that you were eating when you were on that diet? Because I always want to know what actually works to take weight off. I'm interested. What?
I mean, it's pretty much I was just eating less. I was eating more fruits and vegetables. I mean, that's what I was doing. So if I wanted to have a snack, I mean, and they make you do the points. So you it's basically the idea is writing down every single thing you eat and and if you can have anything you want, there's nothing that's off limits with that diet, but then you only have a certain amount of points you can spend.
Yeah.
And so like fruits and vegetables are either, I think they changed it now, but they were 0 points. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
So like it's basically it's almost like a natural way, like leading you towards eating healthy.
Yeah.
It's not like counting calories, but it's kind of like, oh, I'm thinking, oh, I only have 5 points left for the day. I could either have this bag of chips or I could have fruit and then I'll still have left over.
Yeah.
It's like naturally leading you to a healthy lifestyle. So I actually like that one. But yeah, baby weight, man.
Yeah. Well, I think it is all about portion size. I realized that when I was living in Japan, and I realized that how huge our portions are here. And then, we would go out with our school, our students, our managers for izakaya, and they would put like maybe there'd be 20 of us at the table. They would put maybe 5 plates on the table. And that would have been in the US, what 4 people would eat, but 20 people were sharing it. And so I would go, at first I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be starving here. I'm not going to, but I did end up losing about 15 pounds in Japan during my time. And I got used to it. Like my stomach just shrank.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens is like, and now I mean, I was away on vacation and then I was with family. And so I ate a lot. And so I noticed though that I put on a little bit of weight and I can tell that my stomach is not the opposite of shrank. It grew because I can tell like now I need more food during the day. I'm like, I get very, very hungry.
Interesting.
And so that shows, because then when you adjust anyway.
Yeah. The stomach is a muscle. I mean, it goes back and forth. It does change in size, and so it's like eating less begets more eating less, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's fascinating. I love that.
Yeah. So guys, we are going to be talking about all this stuff today, and it's going to be a fun and interesting episode. So we had a listener question from Instagram, and guys, you have to follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
It is a blast over there. We have so much fun, and what I love about Instagram is the community that we have over there, right, Lindsay?
It's so cool. It's so cool. It's really nice because we feel like we're really connecting with you guys in a unique way that we can't on any other channel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so we'll get to the question in a second. But guys, make sure that you follow us on Instagram. So go over right now on your phone and search for All Ears English on Instagram. Get that yellow.
Yeah.
And we will be right there with you and you will be a part of that community.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool. All right. Very cool. So we have a question. Should I read the question, Michelle?
Yes. This was from a video Jessica posted.
Yeah.
And this person posted their question.
Yeah. This is a great topic. So this is from Lubakoinova? Sorry, I'm having a hard time pronouncing that name, but
Lubakoinova. That sounds right.
Yeah, okay. The person says, "Hi, Jessica. Thank you for sharing these amazing slang words with us. I want to ask you a question. What does the cheat day mean? I heard one American woman said she loves cheat days." I wonder what on earth does this mean? I've never heard this expression. What a good question.
Awesome.
And this is why Instagram is so awesome, because another listener answered, 122 Barbie answered, cheat day means someone can eat something that's high calorie if he or she is losing weight. So, right. So exactly. I mean, our student here answered the question.
Right. So, I mean, a cheat day. Yeah, exactly. That's the right idea. It's basically like, if you've done a good job, usually I think of it as like if somebody's dieting and then maybe Saturday is their cheat day.
Yeah, I mean, this just comes back to how it's just so weird, our culture when it comes to food, because we're so food obsessed and like health obsessed, but we're also some of the heaviest, like we're probably like we have the most obese people in the world. It's a weird contradiction that I've always found strange. The way I feel like other cultures, they think less about food. It's just more about high quality food and less food, and they don't worry as much, know? It's so interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Very interesting. So the word diet, just to point out, guys, so that can mean that you are eating less food or you're on a specific kind of diet, but it can also just be about when you talk about what you eat, right? So if you say like my diet consists of a lot of veggies and healthy fats, right?
Yeah.
So it can be like, oh, I have a pretty healthy diet in general. It doesn't always mean that you're on a formal diet.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. So there are two kind of ways that diet can be interpreted, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but this cheat day, Lindsay, if you were giving yourself a cheat day, if you were on a diet and you had a cheat day, what would you eat?
Oh, probably just ice cream. I love ice cream. Maybe I'd have it for dinner or something. That's my favorite like dessert, my favorite cheat thing. There's nothing better than just in the summer getting an ice cream cone, walking around with it. Chocolate, of course.
Yes.
Chocolate and peanut butter, some version of that. That's probably what I would cheat on. Yeah.
Yeah. As you guys all know, probably mine is French fries. So
yes, you have the curly fries, right?
Yeah, well, curly fries, waffle fries, any sort of any
fries.
just chip, popcorn, all that stuff. Like
you like salty.
I love salty. Like that's definitely my thing. But I do love also the salty sweet, like chocolate covered pretzels.
Oh, okay. For me, it's just pure sweet. Like there's nothing better than a good chocolate lava cake. Oh, those are the best.
Those are delicious. But yeah, I always say like, oh, if you put a juicy brownie right next to a thing of French fries and you asked me which one I would have, I'd go for the fries.
Oh,
you would go for the brownie.
I would go for the brownie.
So we would be perfect in this situation.
We won't compete.
Yeah, we'll never get in a fight over who gets to eat what.
That's good. And so we've talked about this a fair amount, right? On this show, guys, we've covered, diet and eating because it is such a prominent issue in our culture. So episode 1110 is about how to approach talking about whether, when you ask someone, have they lost weight? Is that okay? Can you say that? What should you be careful of? And then there was 468 talking about veg, vegan, gluten-free diets like that. And then what else, Michelle? Another one? Today we are talking about the American diet and how Americans deal with nutrition. This is a topic that we might talk about over on our Instagram channel. Come and follow us on Instagram, guys. Search for All Ears English and look for the yellow. We'll see you on Instagram.
1026 was Got a Weird Diet, How to Customize Your Meal in English. So that's a little bit different of an idea, but these are all really good ones to listen to along with this episode.
Yeah, and I think just a few weeks ago, Jessica and I did another one that had something to do with the whole gluten-free thing, with the eliminating wheat from your diet and the issues in the American diet with industry, the wheat industry and all that. So guys, check that one out too. Really good. Good stuff.
Very interesting. So guys, the idea of cheat days, I think that if you're on a diet, I think these cheat days are important. I think letting yourself, even if you're not on a formal diet, I think it makes it easier if you don't restrict yourself all the time. Because if you're always like, I'm not eating chocolate, right? I think it's more tempting and you're less able to control your eating habits when you have a craving. What do you think, Lindsay?
Well, it's a similar idea of like what's forbidden is what we want. Right. And it's the same thing. And this goes back to the same problem, I think, that we have with our drinking age in the US being 21.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that when you're a kid, you're 18, 19, 17, you can't drink. That means that's the first thing you're going to do when you turn 21 is go and get completely drunk. Right. Most people. Or when you go to college and you can just find it, you can get it. But most people, their first experience with alcohol is not a safe one because they have not been taught to treat alcohol in a safe way. Like it's not normal to them. It's this forbidden thing. And I think it's the same idea here with the cheat day. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Then that's another topic.
Yeah. We could go. We're coming up with so many ideas for episodes. It's just endless, Michelle.
It is. So guys, today we also wanted to teach you some additional nutrition words. And we're going to help you these are going to help you when you want to talk about diets or eating habits. But I do want to say maybe Lindsay, I also am interested in learning about nutrition, and in another life, I would also be a nutritionist, which is really funny that we both feel that way. But we are not scientists currently, so we are explaining the basic ideas of these words. So I'm not going to go into all of the explanation of it would... we can go more into it another time, but I'm going to go over the basic idea of some of these.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think I would have made it in a career as a nutritionist because I struggled in Bio 101 in college. Biology is, and there's a lot of science in this, so I would have had to really take some remedial biology classes.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I guess it shows why we're here, right? Doing what we do. But I was not good in the science classes, but I find the idea of being a nutritionist very interesting.
It's fascinating. It's just fascinating. And now they're finding the connection between the gut and the mind and all. It's really good stuff. So let's get into this, Michelle. So the first one
is sodium.
Oh, sodium. Right.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
There we go.
So what should we say about this? Our listeners probably know this word, right? What else?
Well, I mean, it's basically when I see the word sodium on like a nutrition label, I think of it as being salt.
Yes.
But I looked it up, and technically, it's different. But I think of salty foods as having a lot of sodium. Salty foods are like frozen foods, things like that. So sometimes when I'm, like, soup. Like soup cans. If you go and you're going to buy a can of soup, you see that it's very high in sodium, and I always look at that.
And sodium as like a preservative, right? And that's the thing. Our diets, the American diet is so packed with these kinds of things, these preservatives, these foods that can last forever and can be on the shelf for a long time. And they're salty, they're preservative packed, and we have to be really careful. That's why I think home cooking is better, because we determine how much salt goes into it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's sodium. And then we have low fat and high fat. How much fat is there? I mean, fat-free used to be a super common and popular diet. That was the thing. I mean, when I was growing up, like, and if I knew, moms and things that were on diets, it was always fat-free, fat-free, fat-free. And that was how they did it. But then they realized that's not really the best way to do it.
Yeah, it's really interesting as I get older to think back on all the dieting trends that have happened in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s, right? It was all about fat-free. So we were buying like fat-free yogurt, but guess what? It was packed with other really bad things that were worse for us than the fat. So now, right, as you said, it's all about the full fat diet, the good fats, the Mediterranean diet, right? They suggest avocados and walnuts and almonds and olive oil, things like that.
Yeah, right. Like it was always, fat-free muffins, fat-free salad dressing.
Oh yeah, so bad though, so bad.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, because then over time we learned so much about what's good and bad. I mean, and you wonder. I mean, there's so many discussions about like what is good and what is bad, and and it's hard to follow. And you wonder, what are we doing now that then everyone will laugh at us for?
I know. I do wonder that. Oh, I don't know. I think probably the big villain now is sugar. That's because I do read a lot about this stuff, and that's what they're saying is the worst thing, because it's in everything. And, things like the Starbucks Frappuccino, those things are sugar bombs and super dangerous for us. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe in 10 years it'll be something else.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Then we have calories, right? Low or high calorie foods. I mean, I don't really necessarily understand how it's completely different from fat. I think it's more about energy units.
Yeah. Calories a unit of energy. Yeah,
exactly. Right. Rather than, fat. So, sometimes it seems they correlate though.
Yeah, I would say so. Like when I go hiking, I like to find calorie dense food like bars that are actually very high in calorie, maybe 250, 300 calories. So I can get that energy. But those are also high in fat for a reason,
Definitely. And then the next one is one that we've been getting into already a little bit. Lindsay, what is it?
So processed food, that's what we do best here in the US. Frozen food where like you can just stick when we were growing up, a big thing was like TV dinners. We never really had those, but a lot of people did. TV dinners were a big thing, right? Where maybe like Hungry Man or something, those brands where it would all come in a tray, like separated out, your meat, your rice, whatever, your potatoes, you just stick in the microwave and people would sit in front of the TV. This was the 80s American culture,
Yeah, and there was nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
I mean, that it wasn't looked at as like a bad thing.
Right.
I remember, oh my gosh, do you remember Lunchables?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh yeah. And that's the thing. Now they're saying that like that deli meats are really kind of, we should be careful of those. So because of all the salt, the meat, the nature of that meat, how it's processed meat, I guess, is the issue, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's not healthy. So, oh my gosh. Let's do one more word.
Okay, cholesterol. Ooh, big one.
Yeah. I mean, this is also a part of nutrition. I mean, I often, I don't know quite how to explain cholesterol, but I think of it as something that's bad for your heart, right? Like, because you have to get your cholesterol checked, your level. So, I mean, I think of eggs.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. But eggs can also have good cholesterol. I don't know.
Yeah. I think cholesterol is related to like the constriction of the blood vessels, like the way the blood is flowing through our veins. But, eggs are one of those things that's back and forth. You read that eggs are bad, then you read that they're good. Same with coffee. But recently I read an article that said that up to 5 cups of coffee is good for you. So I was psyched to read that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know. The science is always going back and forth on some of these things like eggs and coffee. And then other things, there's clear trends over the years that have changed.
Right. And then there's, of course, protein, which I forgot about. Meat, veggies, all that stuff. But guys, this is a huge episode, and I think we should do a follow-up because today we're really teaching a lot of vocabulary, but I think that we have a lot to say about each of these individually.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a lot going on here. But what is that key phrase that I feel like our listeners could come away with and they could start a conversation about this with someone?
To me, diet is about everything in moderation. Like, I don't know if I believe in that. That's why I actually liked Weight Watchers, is because they don't say you can't eat this. Yeah. I mean, maybe then I'll disagree with this statement one day as more comes out. But like, I feel like, because we always have such mixed information, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. I feel like everything in moderation, like a little bit of everything is fine. Just don't overdo it.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's how they do it in different cultures where people do have a healthier general like system of health. I mean, they're healthier than we are, and they do take things in moderation, smaller portions, occasional like pieces of chocolate, whatever, just not chocolate every night. Right. Oh my gosh, this is good, Michelle. It's a huge topic. We'll come back to it, guys. If you want a specific episode within this topic, because there's a lot of directions we can go into, let us know on Instagram or send us an email, Lindsay@allearsenglish.com. You can ask us that question. But what should we leave our listeners with today as a takeaway, Michelle?
Well, guys, today we've talked about diets, we've talked about cheat days, we've given you other vocabulary words and basic ideas of buzzwords for nutrition. So definitely we'll follow up in the future. But, let us know, what do you pay most attention to when you're deciding what to eat? And do you have a healthy diet? And how is it different in your culture?
Yeah, this is fascinating. I would really like to hear from you guys to know what your take is on nutrition, right? Because it's something we all need to be concerned about, but I just wonder how people approach it in different parts of the world. So really interesting.
For sure. And guys, before we go, remember, follow us on Instagram to be a part of that special community.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, Michelle, thanks for hanging out today. Good topic.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Ears English. If you are taking IELTS this year, get your estimated band score with our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.